Hey guys, so LPS Kodiak is another series I used to watch when I was a kid. I don't remember it much. I remember the main character was Collie 58 or Sage from Popular. And I think he had a little sister. He was also like superhero. It was kind of like Totally Super. But I don't really remember the plot super well, so let's get into it. So the first episode aired in 2012 under DJ Icewolf. The account name may have been changed a few times, but right now it's still under DJ Icewolf. So it starts with our main character waking up from a strange dream, and we learn that his name is Cyan. And someone named Margaret came home last night, or didn't come home last night, sorry, and is declared missing. Then we learn that Cyan's dream was actually about Margaret going missing. So just then, a spaniel materializes in his room and tells him that he has to save his sister and he has powers, and she's only going to teach him how to use his powers if he promises to use them for good and not evil. So Cyan agrees, and the spaniel teaches him how to fly. We have a little training montage.
First things first though, I'm going to have to teach you how to fly first.
And then the spaniel says it's time for your first mission. There's a bank robbery going on. You have to stop them. And she gives him a superhero outfit, which is made out of gum wrappers, which I thought this was so cool when I was a kid. I replicated making costumes with gum wrappers on my own LPS. So then we end the episode with a little kitten trapped in a cage who we can assume is Margaret. And she tells the captors that Cyan is going to come for her. And the captors, the bad guys, are wearing black gum wrappers for capes instead of the silver ones. And then we learn that the people who kidnapped Margaret have been watching Cyan during his first mission at the bank. So the next episode opens with Cyan getting to the bank. He's a little clumsy, you know, because he just got his superpowers, and he realizes he hasn't picked out a hero name for himself yet. So he's kind of thinking about that. There's some cool slow-mo shots. So he defeats the bank robbers, the police come, and they're like, "What's your name?" And so he has a flashback to his little sister calling him Kodiak, and he says that his name's Kodiak. And then at the end of the episode, the captors are again watching Cyan and discussing how they need to get rid of the spaniel, that she's getting in their way, and we see Margaret in the cage again. So next episode opens with the spaniel and Cyan arguing on some rocks, the DJ Icewolf actually took some rocks that from outside and put them in the set, and I thought that was really cool little set building. Cyan is adamant that he needs to go find his sister immediately and go rescue her, but the spaniel keeps telling him that he's not ready, he doesn't know what he's up against. Finally, the spaniel confesses that she's actually wearing a disguise, and she transforms into another collie whose name is Nicole. She's actually Cyan's cousin. Nicole tells Cyan that her father is in town and that her father is visiting his father. But Nicole is being very suspect about everything. She's not giving Cyan details. She's not answering any of his questions. And she just tells him that he needs to go home. So then we cut to Margaret and the captors watching Cyan and Nicole. And this guy, Vlad, enters the picture. Now my first thought is, that's Nicole's father. So then my next question is Cyan's father working with Vlad, and he kidnapped his own daughter? What's going on here? So then we got to Cyan getting home, and him and his mom get into an argument because Cyan is trying to explain that the cops can't help them, and then his mom is like, well, it's your fault, she was kidnapped, you're supposed to be there for her, and this whole kind of weird argument. But then Cyan is like, well, I can go save her, and then she's like, no, you're only 16. So it's kind of this weird double standard of it's your fault she got kidnapped, but you're also not allowed to do anything about it. So that night, Cyan has a nightmare about Margaret's captors who tell him that his powers are genetic, and some people in this family have turned good and some have turned bad. But again, the captors are trying to get Cyan to the dark side, basically, so I don't know how much we can trust these nightmares and visions. So then the episode ends, Cyan wakes up and he gets attacked by a black shepherd who releases this shriek. So next episode, Cyan awakes in this weird room with his costume on, and he sees the black shepherd kind of sitting next to this chair that's turned around, and this captor guy is speaking to him. So the guy says he's gonna destroy Cyan, and the chair turns around and it's a mouse. And obviously Cyan loses it, laughing hysterically. And then this mouse also has a gem of power like on his forehead, so he's got some powers. So then we learn that the Black Shepherd is actually a demon, and the mouse guy lets him attack Cyan, and they kind of fight for a minute. And then just in time, a collie in a gold gum wrapper superhero outfit busts in to help. It's Nicole, obviously. So then we learn that Nicole and this mouse named Zero actually have had some run-ins before. They have some history, so they're all kind of fighting together. There's actually some funny kind of quips in there while they're fighting. And then during this fight, Cyan learns that he can telepathically move things. So during kind of towards the end of the fight, Nicole gets knocked out and Cyan opts to flee, and he kind of carries Nicole back to his house. So back at his house, Cyan's watching the news, and there's this news story that says the serial killer, Tony Gray, has gotten loose and he's on the run, got loose from prison. And then Nicole wakes up and they start arguing. I don't remember why. They start arguing. Then they hear some gunshots and some screaming. And Cyan runs outside, and it's this bulldog, Tony Gray, and he has shot another cat. So episode 5, Cyan and this guy fight. He knocks him out or whatever and brings him home to Nicole. And it's like, what do I do? Nicole says, go get into your hero costume while I call the cops, and then we'll, let the cops know that Cyan caught the bad guy. So after the cops take Tony Gray away, Cyan starts to feel guilty about not being able to do enough for Margaret. And Nicole gives him more like cryptic hints about what's going on. So they argue some more, and then Cyan just flies away in his anger. So we cut to one of the captors talking to a collie named Cyrus, who tells her that it's time to bring Cyan to him. So then we cut to Cyan taking a walk outside, and Cyrus bumps into him. And obviously, she's a gorgeous collie, and he's smitten with her immediately. So they chat for a second, and then she invites him over to his place. Or her place. So she tells him that pretty much she basically lives alone because her caregiver works all the time, and then Cyan invites her back to his house. So the video ends back with Margaret's captors. One of the Great Dane captors is discussing how the plan's going well, and him and I think it was a husky guarding Margaret leave to go get some food. So Margaret, being so small, she manages to squeeze through the bars of her little cage, but then she runs into the Great Dane as she's trying to escape. And that is the last episode of LPS Kodiak. Now I feel like I remember more episodes. Like I felt like it was longer, and like there was another fight that occurred. Maybe I'm just thinking of the fight with Zero, but I thought he managed to like get to where Margaret was, but I could be wrong. So in the description of every single video, DJ Icewolf states that they are no longer doing those pet shop videos and they're focusing on animation. Their most recent video is from a year ago, and all of the more recent videos are animation videos. But I also forgot some other series that I liked from DJ Icewolf, A Life of Revenge and Wolves vs. Cougars. I don't remember like specifics from those series, but I do remember that I loved them. So the last post for the YouTube channel last update was from December 2023. Her Twitter states that she was born in 1996, which would make her about 16 at the time of releasing LPS Kodiak. And she hasn't posted on Twitter since 2023, but her Twitter bio is updated, that she is 28 years old, and I did find her DeviantArt and found like her birthday, so she would be 29 years old this year. So her bio is up to date, but she hasn't like posted anything, so she may still be kind of active, maybe not. So the editing for me when I was a kid, I thought it was really impressive, and honestly, even as an adult, it doesn't look that bad. The costumes being made of gum wrappers were one of the most vivid memories I have of this series. I don't know why, I just thought it was so innovative when I was a kid. I also don't remember the series being so short, as I mentioned. Like, I thought he met up with the captors at some point, but I'm probably just thinking of the fight with Zero. But anyway, that was LPS Kodiak. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be thinking of some other series to cover in the future.